pyramid scheme, and I didn't say scam for a reason, because obviously people would not listen to the video, especially CROWD1 followers and supporters, or should I say cult members. They wouldn't even listen to what I said. This is when I had my old channel before I had to delete it because of anyways, it was because of the university's email. But anyways, they won't even listen to your video. The minute they see scam, they're like, they won't even listen to the video. They just automatically jump to the comments and attack you. So I wanted to label it as a pyramid scheme and not as a scam, even though what we call a scam before CROWD1 cult members attack me, because we know their members are more loyal than church followers. They attack anyone who tries to criticize them, which is very weird, because most businesses, you can criticize them and then they can improve and they can have a conversation with you. But I feel like with CROWD1 members, it's always a one-sided conversation where they just tell you you're wrong. They won't explain to you, they'll just tell you you're wrong. So anyways, CROWD1 essentially is a pyramid scheme, and what we call a scam is an illegal or unethical, unsustainable, or dishonest scheme. If you want to go look at definitions of what a scam is, that's what it is. So essentially, when we say it's a scam, that's what we mean. We mean that it's a dishonest scheme. It's an unsustainable, unethical business model where essentially some people at the top make money and then the rest just pay fees, and they never actually do well in the scheme, and it's never sustainable. That's what they mean when they say pyramid scheme or scam. That's what they mean. Because I feel like with the CROWD1 members, whenever you call it a scam, they say, oh, but I know people were making money. I know people were making money. I know people were making money. That's not the point. Who said you can't make money out of scams? There are people who've made millions scamming people in forex, in investments, in forex signals, in real estate scams. We've seen so many scams. And by the way, I can comment on this because I was involved in a scam once. It was called World Ventures. It was a travel scheme. And so trust me when I say I know about these schemes. I was involved in World Ventures before, and I used to attend all their meetings and all of this, but I didn't quite understand what a pyramid scheme was and all of that. But anyways, let's get into it. So I'll show you the difference and why it's such a problem. So this is just an interesting article which was released recently of basically CROWD1 using celebrities, rugby players, and singers and actors as advertisements, and saying that they're part of their scheme, the investment scheme. And then, as we know, the Financial Services Commission Authority has essentially said, listen, this is an unethical business, and the Reserve Bank, I think, is the one that has to pronounce it a pyramid scheme. I know Namibia has. The Namibian bank has called it a pyramid scheme, and it's out of it. And if you want to go look at Investopedia, they describe it as a pyramid scheme as well. They say it's a sketchy and unsustainable business model. And I'm going to show you pictures of how we can ascertain the difference between that and multi-level marketing, because the two are different. Nothing wrong with multi-level marketing. If you are like Herbalife is a multi-level marketing. We're going to get into that. It's multi-level marketing. CROWD1 is a pyramid scheme. Let's not call it a scam. Let's call it a pyramid scheme, because that's what it is. This guy is apparently he's a big investor, and he tried to criticize CROWD1 in a newspaper. And then, like I said, CROWD1 members are like a cult. They're more loyal than church followers. They attack you every time you say something about them. And you know what's actually fascinating? Some of them, if you talk to them properly, they'll tell you that, listen, I know that things are going to end badly, but your responsibility is just to make your money while you still can. So they know what they're doing. There are two types of members in CROWD1. They're the members who know that this is going to end and it's going to come to an end, and they don't care who's going to be squashed when this pyramid collapses and falls apart. They don't care. And then there are those who are living in delusion, who are thinking they're going to become rich or make some side hustle or have an extra source of income. There's that section also of the membership. So there's two sides to it. And when I was involved in World Ventures, I was part of the delusional side, and so I know what it's like to be on the other side. I remember when I was in World Ventures, what happened was, um, and people would try to tell me, like, listen, this isn't going to work, this is a terrible idea. And somehow I had been convinced because it was about, it was about cruise ships and yachts and travel. And let me tell you, we were sold a dream. But anyways, and there's a reason why they always do these talks. It's because obviously if you keep telling someone something, they'll believe you. They'll get to a point where they believe you. Anyways, this guy, you can go check him out. He uh commented on Crowd1, and then he was attacked. His Facebook, his Twitter, all his social networks were attacked by Crowd1 members. And they love saying this thing. I don't know, maybe it's something they discussed at their conferences. You let me know. Where they say, like, oh, we're like Uber, we're like Airbnb. They don't own actual physical assets or sell physical things. So we're the same thing. And my argument to that is no, you're not the same thing. Airbnb and Uber are service companies. I'll repeat, Airbnb are service companies. The thing with Crowd1 is it's not servicing anyone, right? Uber is selling a service, which is transport. Airbnb is selling real estate services. They are services, but it is some form of business service. Whereas Crowd1 isn't a service. And then everyone's going to be like, oh, well, they rent out people, third parties basically advertise on their website and then they pay Crowd1. Trust me, I mean, if you haven't read and we're going to get into an article by this guy, this South African guy. I'll get to it just now, but he talks about how he looked into these third party people who apparently were hiring this website and paying. So people like Crowd1 are like, oh, we have a website which is similar to like Investopedia, where people invest to advertise, like similar to this website where people will pay to rent a spot. And this guy found out that these third party actually are the same owners of Crowd1, are the third party. So there's no money coming in. When you see these countries that have banned Crowd1, they have seen the same thing, which is the third parties that are being claimed to be paying Crowd1 are not actually existing companies. So that means that all the money Crowd1 is making is through memberships and referrals. Anyways, so Uber selling a service, Crowd1 isn't selling a service, it's selling recruitment and membership. That's essentially what it is. This guy, I can't say his name, he's an investment banker for all I know. And he's basically sent more messages to FSCA to basically have them investigated more thoroughly and have them closed down. But the problem is it's hard to close down something which is online. Uh, if it was a physical company, then yeah. Anyways, so that said, now let's delve into the difference. This is what a pyramid scheme looks like. A pyramid scheme doesn't have any actual product that's being sold. So what happens is there's going to be like whoever team you're on, there's going to be this big kahuna at the top here, and then there's going to be two more people who you recruit, or sometimes it's four. They recruit more people, they recruit more people, they recruit more people, they recruit more people. Now what happens is every time a new line of people is recruited, the reason why you have to keep recruiting in a pyramid scheme is because there's no money that's being generated. Crowd1 members, I know you love to say we sell a magazine, we sell subscriptions, we sell education, we rent out to advertisers. It's not true. When the countries have been doing the investigations, they found out that all the money is being made through recruitment and membership. If you don't believe me, go check out Namibian Bags investigation, where I forgot which auditing company it was. Um, Either it was Ernest and Young or it was yeah, I think it was Ernest and Young. I think it was where they said, listen, all the money is coming from membership. It's not coming from these other sources that they're claiming it is. So, anyways, the reason why you keep recruiting is because this line of new recruits is supposed to pay these guys those unrealistic returns that they're promising. And then that's meant to pay off this guy. And then that's meant to pay off this guy. That's meant to pay off this guy. That's meant to pay off this guy. So that's what happens with a pyramid scheme. And what ends up happening is once people stop recruiting, once it gets tough to recruit, and believe me, with COVID and what's going on, a lot of people are not going to be spending money on reckless things. Pyramid schemes usually pop up once in economic downturns start. So once COVID starts, they are on the rise, and then once an economy is hard hit and people can't keep paying, that's when they usually collapse, and only the people at the top has made money. And I like this picture. This actually shows what actually happens. So it's this guy, this is the newest member, and he now has to pay this guy, he's paying this guy, and then the leader is the guy at the top who makes money. Anyways, it's funny. Now, how is this different to Herbalife or any other network marketing? Number one, the difference is with multi-level marketing, there's a product. So there's this guy who say he's in Herbalife and he wants to sell his product to many people. It's similar to a franchise. So he will sell his product to this guy, to this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. So they will start selling this guy's product and then they'll pay him a commission, similar to a franchise agreement. The multi-level marketing is used to scale up a business, because sometimes someone who's involved in multi-level marketing is probably too busy doing other things. They want to make an extra source of income, or maybe they want to grow a company, but they don't want to open physical addresses or places, so they'll hire other network people who will sell a product and give a commission. It's different to membership. There's no recruiting. So these guys, when they're selling their products, they're not recruiting these guys. They're just selling a product and earning a commission and paying this guy. That's the difference. There's no recruiting. This guy and this guy will meet, they will keep making money even if these guys don't buy, right? They'll keep making money because there's no recruitment. This doesn't keep growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and recruiting members. That's the big difference. And then lastly, lastly, this is the article I was talking about by Bandisa Boikanyo. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. And he did a great article, and he's talking about the owners. And this is one of the guys, apparently he's one of the main guys, because we can't really find the real owner. And if you go to their LinkedIn, the beautiful thing about these guys is on their LinkedIn, they will never really say CROWD1, and if they do, they will immediately remove it once investigations start. So he talks about this scandal that happened where apparently in Dubai, CROWD1 was claiming that they had an office registered there. And here's the proof that they did claim that. Because people are like, oh, no, they didn't say that. Here's the website where they did claim that they had headquarters there. So this was some picture that they had put up. And then when another guy came after this guy had recorded this video, he saw that this CROWD1 sticker had been removed. So they didn't own that premises. And then next you'll hear after the scandal, CROWD1 was like, oh, we don't have a headquarters there. We have one in Spain or wherever it is in Europe. And they say it's always in Spain, Malaysia, Philippines, some remote country where no one will go check. If you're selling a product to right CROWD1 members say that we're selling a product. If you're selling a product to Africans, why is your headquarters in Spain? Why isn't it in South Africa where other companies' headquarters are? Why is your company elsewhere? And even if you say we're the Uber or we're the Airbnb, Airbnb also has headquarters that people can see. They are regulated. They're not running away from regulators. As I've shown you, I know Norway, I know South Africa, I know Namibia, I know the Philippines, and I know the UK banned CROWD1. These guys, again, oh, this is the guy who went to their headquarters and he didn't find CROWD1 there. And I'm sure if you go to their Spain headquarters, you're not going to find anything. This guy is the funniest character, Jonas Eric. Apparently, he's a big member in this whole LL, I wouldn't even say MLM, multi-level marketing, because that's a legitimate thing. But in these pyramid schemes, he's done this before, guys. Spin Glow is something he started, another pyramid scheme. It fell apart. He just left the country in Norway. They're looking for him. You see, he's done the exact same thing with the same model, and now they're just in a different country. They've sold the same model over and over again. And these guys have now become so smart. They know how to get around regulators. They know what regulators are. This guy who claims apparently he's run many multiple businesses, multi-million dollar businesses, which is true, but he also went bankrupt. How are you? And when I say bankrupt, I mean there was something sketchy going on with this tech company. And this is the guy who CROWD1 said is their CEO or something funny like that. Yeah, he's our new CEO. Oh my gosh. Chief Visionary Officer. And what's funny was he was the Chief Visionary Officer of Spinglow, which is the same company that Vaughn, the one I've just talked about, was at before it went bankrupt. So they've done this before at Spinglow, and now they're back again to do it at CROWD1. So it's just actually quite funny. Jonas Eric, yes. And then apparently this is some sketchy lawyer of theirs. And then there's this guy. You see, these people are like they go check out the people who they're saying are their owners. You'll just find for yourself that these people are just sketchy. They are just sketchy. And then here he's just showing you that the third party companies they're claiming they're making money from, they aren't the third parties. It's this guy who's actually the owners. It's funny. They're telling you that they're making money elsewhere, but they're making money from memberships. But listen, if you're one of the first people and you're making fun, and so that's just it. But essentially, a scam doesn't mean you can't make money out of it. A scam is, like we said, an unethical or unsustainable business model, which is essentially illegal, but you find ways to go around the law. And if you're one of the first people, you're fine. If you're those who are joining in late, like now, when people are becoming very critical, then you're likely to lose money. It's a tough gig, but hey, what can you do?